Hello everyone and welcome to another exciting Dragon Ball discussion video. Hey, make sure if you're checking out our channel for the first time that you hit that subscribe button. Truly appreciate it. If you love this video, make sure to like this video and check out some of our other content, whether it be college lifestyle vlogs, Dragon Ball discussions, Yu-Gi-Oh gameplay, things of that nature. Definitely make sure to check us out. We have lots of great content and more coming out on the channel all the time. Now let's get started. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Dragon Ball Super episode 100 and really like just my main thoughts on the episode and things that I found interesting that really stood out to me. This isn't going to be an episode summary. This is just going to be my thoughts on the episode proper. And of course, there will be spoilers. So if you do not want episode 100 spoiled for you, please evade your eyes and come back on a later date. Now, a few things that stood out to me. Kale and Caulifla are sisters. So I'm not sure if they mentioned this before, like in a previous episode, or if Kale had said like Oni-chan or whatever in a previous episode. But until this point, I hadn't caught it. And I'd even heard some rumors about like, well, maybe there might be like a lesbian thing going on between Kale and Caulifla. But that doesn't seem to be the case, considering that they're sisters and it's more like a sisterly bond. I honestly thought that Kale was like Caulifla's underling and that Caulifla was like the head of this big gang, but Kale was just like someone who Caulifla associated with. So this makes a little bit more sense why Caulifla was so okay with, hey, Kaba, why don't we teach her how to be a Super Saiyan and things like that. It wasn't just like Kale is Caulifla's like right-hand man or something. It's more like, you know, they have a family bond. It could also show how she's able to achieve such a powerful Super Saiyan form, considering the fact that Kale and Caulifla being related, with Caulifla seeming like a prodigy as a Super Saiyan, and being able to go through all these transformations, then it may somewhat run in their family bloodline. It'd be interesting to see what other members of their family may be capable of. Next up was the Yardrat fodder. So the Yardrat seemed to create like an uproar in the community. An uproar may be too strong of a word, but a lot of the Dragon Ball Super community felt that felt that the Yardrat would be a powerful foe. Because we have heard about the Yardrats in the past having these crazy techniques and tricks, one of which being instant transmission, of which Goku learned from them while he was there. So I honestly expected the Yardrat to unveil a bunch of crazy tricks that go beyond instant transmission. Instant transmission is not like a small feat to be able to accomplish. But the concept that a Yardrat would only really use like instant transmission and energy blast, you feel like he would go beyond, or she, not assuming gender, and have like additional Metamorphin techniques. You also have to think about the amount of time that spanned between when Goku visited the Yardrats and the Yardrat now, and the fact that this Yardrat's from a different universe. Well, I guess because of a different universe, the time thing doesn't matter as much. But you would think that they would have more techniques that would be battle ready and battle capable than just instant transmission, and that anything they demonstrated should be beyond just normal Goku instant transmission, if it's like a continually developed technique over time. So to see Caulifla essentially fly in and just kick the Yardrat, possibly, I don't think out of the arena, because they normally like to show Zeno hitting the button that eliminates a fighter. So I don't think the Yardrat is like completely out, but the idea that the Yardrat just kind of got kicked to the side, I don't know, that was odd. It was a weird way for us to get introduced to the Yardrat in a combat situation, for him to essentially just get foddered by Caulifla. It would be nice to see the Yardrat again in the future, like in the Tournament of Power. So I'm hoping that he wasn't eliminated. If they did show Zeno press the elimination button, then please tell me in the comment section below, so that I know not to look forward to the Yardrat. But I would love to see if he had any more, or she, really interesting techniques to show us from the Ardrats of his universe. Um, so Caulifla just kind of looks at Goku do Super Saiyan 2 and she attains it. And I thought that was really gross. Um, so Caulifla, we'd already seen achieve Super Saiyan 2 when she faced off against Super Saiyan Berserker Kale. And when she did it there, it felt cringy. It just kind of happens and no one refers to it. Kaba doesn't react for real. Kale doesn't react. And Khalifa doesn't even seem like she reacts. But we do know that she was aware that she did achieve it, as when she sees Goku do it, she realizes, like, hey, this is legitimately another form and it's something that I could do. But she's never been able to do it since, she claims, which I guess means she's tried to do it since, but non-successfully. But I guess she just needed a visual demonstration of it for her to push forward. Also, when she asked Goku about it, and asked whether or not it has to do with the tingly back thing, Goku says something like that, which implies that the tingly back thing is like not too far off from like what the Universe 7 Saiyans do, and that's cringy too. Um, because a lot of people in the community felt weird about feeling a tingly energy in your back in order to achieve Super Saiyan, and that, hey, you know, that's really not how Super Saiyan has been. It's been really different and it's portrayed in different ways, like throughout Dragon Ball, and none of them seem to follow this tingly back logic. But essentially, by Goku saying something like that, it kind of adds additional credence to the idea that it's like the tingly energy feeling in your back. And that's interesting, to say the least. But let's skip through my notes. Oh, wait, no. Oh, I actually skipped past one of my notes earlier to talk about the Super Saiyan 2 thing. So Goku says that Caulifla could achieve Super Saiyan 3 in her fight against Goku. This fight, of course, is interrupted by Super Saiyan Berserk Kale. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is actually really interesting in itself, because if Kale hadn't have gone Berserk, based on Goku's prediction, if it had come true, we would have seen Caulifla achieve Super Saiyan 3 in the Tournament of Power. We still technically could, as spoilers have indicated that Kale, Caulifla, and Goku are going to team up with one another in the Tournament of Power. And if that's the case, then we may see Caulifla pushed to her limits, as I feel Goku believed she would be in a fight against him, which would allow her to achieve Super Saiyan 3. Am I saying that she's going to reach Super Saiyan 3 in the Tournament of Power? Not necessarily, but if she's going to be facing powerful foes like Vegeta at any point or anything like that, and if Goku thought from fighting her that she may achieve it in that fight, then it's possible. Also, Goku may have been referring to the Tournament of Power itself as a fight, but he could have very easily just been referring to him versus Caulifla as the fight of which she would reach Super Saiyan 3. So that's pretty insane. Can't wait to see some fan art on that. And if it does happen, I wonder if people will freak out. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's really like freak out material. Just saying, Super Saiyan 3 to me has never been like, oh my goodness, it's that form. It's so you know, Super Saiyan 3 to me isn't up there. It's still a big feat for her, though, considering that she's accelerating through these forms so quickly. But Goku doesn't seem too fazed by the fact that she's going up through these forms. He sees it as interesting, but really he's not too blown away until he sees Super Saiyan Berserker Kale. I have multiple notes on her. My notes are not written in order, considering the fact that I watched the episode multiple times. And I like took notes each time, kind of thing, to try and make sure I caught what I felt were like some of the most interesting moments. Here's another note that's, again, a little out of order. So Kale, after going Super Saiyan Berserk, tanks a Super Saiyan Blue Kamehameha. Now, a lot of fans are saying this is not a full power Kamehameha. This is not Goku at his full strength. And I agree. For one, Goku doesn't go Kaioken blue. For two, even though Goku's in blue, that doesn't mean he's going as like hard as possible. Three, a lot of people are pointing out that Goku isn't really taking damage in this fight versus Kale, even though a lot of crazy shit happens. But my goodness, is there an uproar about the concept that Kale can just casually walk through a Super Saiyan Blue Kamehameha? For one, I don't think Goku was going all out against Bergamo and the Trio de Dangers when they did the final Kamehameha. You know what I mean? Like with Goku and Vegeta. And that essentially was like a push move. You know, the beam wasn't set to disintegrate or whatever. It just knocked them out of the arena. So for Kale to take a blast like that and just walk through it. And again, it's not fair to compare a final Kamehameha to a, you know, just a normal Super Saiyan Blue Kamehameha with Goku not going all out. But my goodness, she just walks through it just the whole time and just grabs Goku's face. Also, we've seen Goku amp up his power mid-Kamehameha in the past. So it's interesting that Kale just walks through it casually, and we don't see Goku flare up the power of the Kamehameha anymore in order to knock Kale back additionally. But Kale did tank a lot of blows, and she does end up doing this energy ball shower thing that hits and breaks up a lot of the arena terrain, which we'll get into that a little bit later. But her power that was shown seemed to be rather impressive. One of the hard mark-out moments of this was when Kale grabs Super Saiyan Goku. Yeah, this is before he went blue. This is either Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan 2 Goku. And she ragdolls the shit out of him. It's essentially ripped straight from the Avengers when Hulk grabs Loki and just smashes him around into the arena floor. And I lost it. That was fucking incredible. Again, I watched this last night, so I'm not going to be like as hype. And I did rewatch it this morning, and it was still fire. It's still that hot mixtape. And it's definitely going to be a very memorable Dragon Ball moment to come in the future. Holy shit. So moving on from there, let's skip to the tournament arena thing. I actually have that as like one of my last notes listed, but fuck, does it need to be mentioned? So they mentioned at the beginning of the Tournament of Power that the tournament arena is made out of a form of kachin, which in Universe 7 is like the strongest material there is. But this form of kachin is stronger than the variation that's used in Universe 7. We get to see some gods of destruction fight against each other in the Universe of Power. I mean, in the Tournament of Power arena. And when they do that, they like wreck a lot of the arena and they have to repair it before the fight starts. So I thought that was demonstrating how strong God of Destruction was. The idea that a God of Destruction is so powerful, and when the two fight, that it could threaten the destruction of the universe, that when they cross blows, bam, you know, like some of the strongest material in the multiverse is just exploding around them, kind of thing. I thought that was really impressive. And they essentially showed in this episode that Kachin doesn't mean a damn and it shouldn't be taken seriously. Or if Kachin is taken seriously later on, we should all be scratching our heads because it doesn't seem to make that much sense. So I expected this arena to like only take damage from like the strongest of the strong. Like only like really incredible shit should break up this arena. Now, Super Saiyan Berserk Kale walks and breaks the Kachin. Her very footsteps break the arena floor. Kale is like so powerful that when she just shoots a rain of like energy balls all around the arena, she just completely demolishes the terrain and creates all this rock and debris from the Kachin. Like Kachin stronger than Universe 7 Kachin. That's fucking ridiculous. Caulifla, when fighting against the sumo guy, she stands her ground and ends up like breaking the edge of the tournament arena. Like that whole edge just falls off the side. The arena is definitely no longer round all the way around. Or at least I was imagining it as being round. I may be wrong. I thought it was on like a big spinning top thing, but correct me in the comment section below if I'm not thinking straight. I did wake up not too long ago and then rewatch it in order to do this review. So, well, it's more like a discussion. The Kachin thing just seems like a lot of bullshit. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. I have some ideas about how if Goku learned shapeshifting, which I think is still something that is possible in Dragon Ball for Goku to attain. Make sure you check out my video, Why Can't Every Character in Dragon Ball Shapeshift? I find that to be a really interesting discussion. But one shapeshifting form that I imagine Goku could attain in the future would be Kachin Goku. So Goku shapeshifts his body into Kachin, so he's made out of the strongest material in the universe. But then when he transforms on top of that, like Super Saiyan Blue Kachin Goku, that he would be like practically invulnerable. Like it would increase his durability even further because he would become even stronger with his Super Saiyan boost on top of his body being made of Kachin. And his body being made of Kachin may even reduce possible strain on his body from using more powerful forms. But again, that's a video for another time. But with Kachin being underplayed in this tournament as like, oh, well, this is Kachin that's even stronger than Universe 7 Kachin, and it just kind of breaks apart. It's just fucking peanut brittle. You know, like, oh, well, I'm not sure if Kachin Goku even would matter then. You know what I mean? Other than the possible strain thing I was talking about, if it's possible for Kale to like kick Super Saiyan Blue Kachin Goku in the fucking stomach and he just shatters like a terracotta warrior, I'd be pretty pissed. So next up, Kale just kind of falls back in after Jiren hit her. A lot of people are marking out about Jiren hitting Kale with this energy blast and she gets knocked far into the sky and then like the blast explodes. I mean, that was a cool scene. I was marking out more about how Kale, like the thing said, like the spoiler said, gets knocked out of the tournament arena, but that bitch falls back in somehow. She like Team Rocket blasted off again, but she blasted back into the tournament arena. At first I was like, maybe Hit did his time skip and recovered her, similar to like how he did for Caulifla. But they made a point to show us that in like earlier, and they didn't really this time. And it just seems like the blast, I guess, blew her upward and back into the arena. I don't know, that seems really sketch. There also seem to be a lot of scenes of very long jumps being done. Flying! I mean, like, I know that they say that you can't fly in the Tournament of Power, and I have a whole video that I'm going to do that talks about how they could totally fly in the Tournament of Power if they wanted to. But it just is taking some time for my brain to be like, are you sure they didn't fly right here? How about right here, where it seems like they're just continually sliding in the air? I don't know. That doesn't seem like a normal jump. There's some hard Naruto jumps they're doing now. Like, we can't fly, but these Naruto jumps are like all over the place. Holy shit. Jump power too strong. But yo, let's talk about Kaba's ass. So Kaba casually rings two people out, but he does it by knocking both of them in opposing directions, which somehow ends up with them flying off the same side of the stage. I don't know. I recommend you guys rewatch that scene. I had to rewind it to make sure, but I'm pretty sure Kaba hits an approaching enemy from the right, back in the right, like back in the direction of right? And then another enemy approaching from the left, he hits him and he knocks him back toward the left. But then we see both of those niggas fly off from the right. So I don't understand what happened. I'm not sure if that was like an error, but I'm sure someone has a theory of how Kaba could hit one guy in the opposite direction, but he flies in the other direction out of the arena. Who knows? Who knows? But that was really weird to look at. Kaba was also ready to shit on Vegeta in like his confidence wise, not like his power. It wasn't like Kaba demonstrated by knocking those two fodder ass characters out that he was like top tier shit. I must admit though, we haven't seen many characters just casually knock people out of the arena, which I honestly expected to see that. I expected to see Goku and Vegeta do that. Because Gohan's more doing the teamwork thing, where they're all staying in a circle, but with Goku and Vegeta just out hitting people, as well as Android 17 just out hitting people, I imagine that they would just casually be ringing people out. But I imagine it makes more sense for them to only do that right before a big fight to like fodderize some characters. You know, you gotta set it up to where it's like you don't even know my full power kind of thing. But they picked a couple characters that I didn't really care about for real, for him to just knock out of the tournament. So whatever. Kaba approaches Vegeta and he's like, Master, it's time for you to drop out. And he transforms and it's like, oh shit. So I really do want to see Kaba versus Vegeta. Do I think we'll see it next episode? Nah. My main reason for why I don't think we'll see Kaba versus Vegeta next episode is because honestly, I wanted to see Botamo and the Winnie the Pooh looking nigga versus Vegeta. I wanted to see that finish, and we got to see it continue in this episode, but then get interrupted by the Kaba thing. Just like it would have been cool to see Caulifla possibly obtain Super Saiyan 3 while fighting Goku, but then that got interrupted by Super Saiyan Berserker Kale. Super Saiyan Berserker Kale and Super Saiyan Blue Goku did have a solid battle against each other. Also, sorry that these images aren't exactly in line. A big problem with trying to get these images in line is that the image of Goku is zoomed in a significantly like harder amount than the image of Kale is zoomed in. So it causes many of the features on Goku to be closer to the camera, if that makes sense. So editing these images together, it doesn't work exactly right. And I'm sure this could be edited better, like to be even better than what is shown in this image. But whatever, like again, not stressing that too hard. But that was like a pretty incredible battle. I personally really enjoyed when Kale was getting her ass whooped. That was amazing. And not by Goku, of course, but by the dude with the red mouth that like can capture fists that hit him in the mouth. And a lot of people were saying that his mouth looked like a vagina, whatever. The thing that got me is that the sumo wrestler dude grabbing her and then the dude with the vagina mouth just punching the shit out of Kale. I hadn't seen someone get brutalized in a good minute. It reminded me of when Frieza was just torturing Vegeta on Planet Namek. I mean, Frieza was really putting in some work on Vegeta for no reason because Frieza's just like cruel like that. There's something really evil about just beating the shit out of someone when you really don't have to. It just has that bully mentality there. But the fact of the matter being that like in the Tournament of Power, you just have to ring someone out. It's not about a knockout. A knockout actually doesn't even mean anything. So like them just beating the shit out of Kale and just throwing her out of the arena like she was trash was just wow. You know, it was just going way farther than it needed to. As soon as they like had a tight grip on Kale and you can't fly, I feel like they could have just thrown her. I don't think she would have been ready. She would have screamed and Caulifla would have like grabbed her, but that's what happened anyways. So I mean that shouldn't matter. But that ass whooping was c'est magnifique. And it really showed how cruel some of the other universes are, which is interesting because of the fact that a lot of people felt, well, a lot of other universes were commenting at the preliminaries that Universe 7 was kind of like fucking around a little bit, especially the Pride Troopers. Like Topo felt that Goku was fucking up and that he must be evil kind of thing because of what he's done. But I mean, look at those niggas. They brutalize Kale for no reason. And it really helps you side more with like some of the other universes. You're like, fuck that universe. You want to see them get punished. And that's partially what made it interesting that Kale had ended up knocking out the vagina mouth guy with her like raining energy burst storm or whatever. That was really cool. It was like justice dun, 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 move for her. So yeah, fair enough. He deserved to get knocked out. That was some evil shit. And we already saw Khalifa swag on the sumo wrestler dude. Another thing that's interesting is the guy, there's a Pride Trooper that looks like a dinosaur. And a lot of people are comparing him to like Charmander or something like that, or like Charizard or something. But he has a lasso that he claims makes any evil force powerless. And it's really kind of annoying to see him get knocked out of the tournament so early. So, for one, a technique that if it works like described, where if it lassos someone evil, it makes them powerless. At a tournament of power, where you have like teammates that can then swag on them, similar to how Kale got grabbed by the sumo guy, but then Vagina Face dude just like punched the shit out of her. If you could lasso like Frieza or like Frost with something like that, characters who you know are evil, and if it truly does make them powerless, that would be insane. I could imagine, because a lot of people think Frieza is going to betray Universe 7, that he's going to turn his back on them and try and foil their plans. So if Frieza was to betray Universe 7, we could have this big conflict where like Frieza is too powerful for anyone to handle. He's wiping the floor with these guys. Because maybe he decides to betray them after everyone's weakened. Like maybe Goku, after a very fierce battle with like Jiren and Hit and a few others, is like severely weakened. And there are only so many people still left in the tournament. So Goku now has to fight against more or less fodder characters, but he can't really demonstrate his full power because maybe he's pushed himself beyond his limits. And then Frieza hits him up with an attack where he essentially attempts to knock this weakened Goku out of the arena while he has a chance, essentially foiling the chances of Universe 7, because then Frieza could just have himself like exit the arena and then Universe 7 loses. He could try and do some shit like that. I don't feel like he would, considering there's not much for him to gain from that. And it seems like he's on a big power trip right now. That being said, if Frieza was to do some kind of plan where he betrayed them, and we had that Pride Trooper whose lasso makes an evil force powerless, then we technically could have seen a very interesting comeback in which the Pride Troopers, who feel that Universe 7 and many of the other universes must be evil for being involved with the Tournament of Power, realizing that like what true evil is by meeting Frieza and having to team up with Goku in order to like save the day. Also, I feel like that could have allowed for some good team up potential. A big trope is for multiple fighters to fight off against each other and then realize we all have a common goal in the end and we can stand together on this common goal in order to overcome our enemies, right? So like that trope could have been played really well by Topo and Jiren swearing that like Goku is pure evil, but when they put him in the lasso, Goku like breaks out similar to what Kale did, and it makes them realize like, hey, they're not evil after all. They're just like us. They're just trying to like survive in this universal survival arc. So I feel like there's a lot of potential in a move like that lasso, and I feel like if the Universe 7 team members learn the lasso move, then future threats could be fodderized. Because, I mean, that lizard dude, if his move works the way he described, where it makes evil powerless, what a good-ass move. I mean, like, Cell, evil. Lasso, powerless. Frieza, evil. Lasso, powerless. Kid Buu, evil. Lasso, powerless. You know what I mean? Like that move would be so strong because of the fact that it doesn't matter how powerful your opponent is. If they're evil, they're fucked. And what's cool about it is that like The Spirit Bomb is a move that's like that, where if you use it against someone who's evil, then it should be able to eradicate them if the Spirit Bomb is strong enough to do so. This lasso makes your enemy weak. And then like a Spirit Bomb should be able to like hit them and like just wreck their shit. Like the lasso in combination with Spirit Bomb would be a rad ass technique. Especially if you could like pull the energy of like a planet or a galaxy or even the universe into the lasso and kind of do a Genki Dama lasso thing, a Genki Dama lasso of justice that makes any evil force powerless and then eradicates them. You know, that would be really strong. So I'd love to see something like that in the future. Maybe someone in the tournament saw it and, and we'll be able to duplicate it later. Who knows? I doubt it, but it would be really cool. But anyways, what did you guys think of episode 100? This has just been my thoughts as I've just kind of gone on a rant and discussed a few things that I thought were cool. But I'd love to hear from you guys. Make sure you hit us up in the comment section below and make sure to check out some of our other videos that'll be coming out throughout the day. So yeah, once again, if you like this video, make sure to like this video, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding, 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 ring that bell so you'll be notified whenever we do the live stream. Thank you all once again and have a great day. This is Jet Black, logging out.